So a gardener is cutting off pieces of string from a long row of string. First piece is cut off is 128 cm long, and each successive piece is 2/3 as long as the preceding piece. So this is obviously an AP-GP question. Alright, since every successive piece is 2/3 the preceding piece, so we know that it is a GP. So first we will want to state, since it's a GP, our A, our first term, will be 128, and our R will be 2/3. Okay, so the question tells us that the length of nth piece, which is our UN, alright, the nth term, is PCM. So first we'll find out what our UN is in GP. So that will be AR power minus n minus 1. So our A is 128, R is 2/3, power by n minus 1. Okay, and the question tells us that this is equals to P. So then they continue to ask us to show that ln P equals to this. So when they ask us to show, we will always start off with our left hand side, which is ln P. Since we know P is this, we can first substitute this in. Okay, so what I did was just substitute our P into ln P. Then I'll continue by simplifying this. We can use our laws of logarithm. Since this term multiplying by this term, we can split it up into ln 128 plus ln 2/3 to the power of n minus 1. Then now, since I know that ln 128 is equal to ln 2 power 7, alright, and this power we can bring it down, still testing our laws of logarithm. Alright, so this power 7 we can also bring it down to have 7 ln 2 plus, up to here we can split our ln 2 over 3 into ln 2 minus ln 3. Alright, using our law of logarithm again. Now since our goal is to expand it up till we have 1 ln 2 term and 1 ln 3 term, so we will have to split this ln 2 and ln 3 up. Alright, so now I'll multiply this n minus 1 in, so I'll have n minus 1 times ln 2 minus n minus 1 times ln 3. Alright, since I have a ln 2 term and a ln 2 term here, I can combine them together by factorizing out the ln 2. So I'll end up with n plus 6 ln 2. Alright, and then here this is my only ln 3 term, but since the question wants us to show it into ln 2 plus something ln 3, so I'll convert this into plus, and the n minus 1 will be changed into negative n plus 1 ln 3. Alright, so to find A, B, C, D, we've already shown the ln P converted into ln 2 plus ln 3 terms. So now we want our A, B, C, D. Okay, so A will equal to coefficient of n in ln 2 term, which is 1, B will be 6, C will be negative 1, while D, okay, will be 1. So this is our answer for part 1. Alright, now if we continue to part 2, show that the total length of the string cut off can never be greater than 384 cm. Alright, in GP we have our sum to infinity, which is equal to A over 1 minus R. Alright, since we know our A is 128, our R is 2/3, so from here the denominator will end up as 1/3, so it will come up as 128 multiplying by 3, we will have 384. So our sum to infinity will be equal to 384. Alright, so that's why from here we can conclude that the total length will never be greater than 384 cm. Okay, So this is quite an easy part, 2 marks, which is mainly testing our concept of sum to infinity. If we do not use this method, alright, we can also use Sn, which will equals to our a times 1 minus r power n dividing by 1 minus r. Then subsequently we can let when n approaches to infinity, what will Sn approach to, and we will find out that it also approaches to 384. So this is another alternative method that we can use to show that the total length of string cutoff can never be greater than 384 cm. Alright, now moving on to part 3. How many pieces must be cut off before the total length cutoff is greater than 380 cm? Alright, this one we will need our Sn, alright, which is the sum of terms up to the nth term. So we want it to be greater than 380 cm. So Sn will be equal to our a times 1 minus 2/3 power n, alright, dividing by 1 minus r, which is 1/3. Alright, it's a bit small, but the next line I will simplify it. So I'll have 384 multiplying by 1 minus 2/3 to the power n greater than 380. Alright, so up to here we can continue on this side. So we will have 1 minus 2/3 to the power n will be greater than, if we divide the 384 over, then we will have 1 over 96 here. So by making our 2/3 to the power n the subject, okay, we will have, this one is supposed to be 95 over 96 for 380 over 384. So when we make 2/3 to the power n the subject, we will have 2/3 to the power n is less than 1 over 96. Now if we ln both sides, we can pull the power n down. Okay, and we'll have this. Now we can make n the subject, but note that ln 2/3 is a negative number, alright, because if the number after ln is between 0 and 1, then the ln value will be negative. So we have to switch this sign, and we will have ln 1 over 96 dividing by ln 2/3. Okay, so this value we will have is n must be greater than 11.3. Okay, so the question asks how many pieces must be cut off before the total length cutoff is greater than 380. So from here we can have our answer that since n must be greater than 11.3, the next smallest integer will be 12. So 12 pieces must be cut off. That's our answer.